Hello, welcome to Let's Learn About Science. My name is Miss Bishop, and we will be talking about the different parts of a cell today. First, let's start with the standard. The standard says students will describe the structure and function of cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems. We're actually doing part B, which is relate cell structures, which is the cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, chloroplast, mitochondria, to the basic cell functions. Okay, let's take a quick look at the cell. What is a cell? Well, the picture shown is an animal cell, and it has in the center, it has the nucleus, then, or the nucleolus, and then the nucleus surrounds that part. The Golgi complex is right there in the green. The smooth ER, or endoplasmic reticulum, is up there at the top. You can see it's very smooth, and it's also the yellow to the right. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is at the bottom. And how to remember that is it's got the little spots on it, which makes it almost look like it is rough. So that's why they call that the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The vesicles right there in the red, bright red at the bottom. The lysosome is the lime green little jelly bean looking thing to the left and on the bottom of the nucleus. And then, of course, you have the microfilaments. Those are like little bitty lines of purple. You have the mitochondrion. Those are the big light colored blue things that are all around this part of the cell. You have the chromatin, which is in between the nucleolus and the nucleus. Then the microtubules are like the little lines that you see that are blue. And the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is actually that whole section right there at the inside of the cell. Okay, and what is the function of the cell and parts of the cell? The nucleus directs all cell activities. It is the brain or control center of the cell. Nuclear envelope, which is the nuclear membrane, controls what passes in and out of the nucleus. The cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance found inside the cell that acts as a medium for chemical reactions within the cell. The Golgi apparatus packages the proteins made by the ribosomes so they can be sent out of the cell. The UPS store of the cell. That's what this is. The mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell. It breaks down sugar molecules to release energy. Site of cellular respiration. Double membrane. Self-replicating. Contains DNA. The vacuole is storage tanks, can hold food, water, and waste of the cell. The ribosome makes proteins for the cell, can be found attached to the ER, the endoplasmic reticulum, or free in the cytoplasm. The endoplasmic reticulum is the transportation network for the cell. It moves materials around the cell. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, we call that the rough ER, this part has ribosomes attached to it. The smooth ER does not have ribosomes attached to it. The lysosome is the stomach of the cell. It helps the cell digest food, waste, and worn out cell parts. The nucleolus produces ribosomes and rRNA. Cell membrane, or the plasma membrane, is the gatekeeper. It separates the cell from the rest of the environment and helps control what passes in and out of the cell. Is semi-permeable, allows some materials to pass through, but not all. Chloroplast, a special plastid that contains chlorophyll pigment that captures the sun's energy to produce glucose in a process called photosynthesis. A cell wall is a rigid outer layer made of cellulose that supports and protects the cell. This is only in plant, fungi, and bacterial cells. Vesicle stores and transports substances from the Golgi body to the cell membrane for export. This right here is the UPS truck of this cell. Okay. And then we have the cytoskeleton. It gives support and shape to the cell, made up of proteins. And the centriole organizes special parts of the cytoskeleton called microtubules for cell division, migrates to opposite ends of the poles of the cell to assist with cell division. Okay, with all of that being said, those right there are all the cell parts. This is not only animal cells, but also plant cells, and there is a difference between the two, and that's what we're about to talk about. The difference, what is the difference between an animal cell and a plant cell? Well, in an animal cell, there is not a cell wall, there's no cellulose, no plastids, or vacuoles. And if any of these are present, they're very, very, very small, not that much. In a plant cell, the centrosome is absent. In an animal cell, reserve food stored in the form of glycogen, and in a plant cell, instead of glycogen, food is stored in the form of starch. So that's the main difference between the two. It's basically you take away some of the things that one has, and that's the plant cell, and you put back what the other one doesn't have, and that's the animal cell. So in this video we have talked about the cell and the different parts of the cell, the functions of each part, and the difference between animal and plant cells.